Valley Community College District Number 511 Committee of the Whole meeting for Tuesday, April 14th, 2026. May we have a roll call?
Nelson.
Present.
Simpson.
Yes, here.
Trojan.
Here.
Goldsmith here. Kudia.
Yes, here.
Blake.
Here.
Gorski.
Here.
All right.
All right, and I believe we have a board member, Trustee Stoltow, who is requesting to attend by means of other than physical presence by phone. Do I hear a motion to allow Trustee Stoltow to join this meeting by phone?
So moved.
Moved by Nelson, seconded by Kadia. Let's have a roll call on that.
Nelson.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Trojan.
Yes.
Goldsmith, yes. Kudia.
Yes.
Blake.
Yes.
Gorski.
Gorski's yes.
Okay.
And Kadia. Did you get Gloria?
I did.
Okay, so Trustee Stoltow is now a voting member of tonight's meeting. Do we have any communications and petitions or public comment?
We do not.
Okay, I have this about a communication. So for this evening, in light of some folks' concerns about inclement weather coming in on us, I'm going to remove, to the best of my ability, most of the items that will not lead to a board action or vote or decision at the next meeting, and we'll essentially postpone some of those other discussions. And if you see me nodding over here to Amanda, just to confirm that that's something we're not voting on in the next meeting. We're not having a side chat, all right? So, next item on the agenda, recognition of visitors.
We have no visitors tonight.
Okay, and the minutes are in your packet for the review. That's the Committee of the Whole from March 10th, 2026. We are not going to have the general presentation. We're moving on to the teaching, learning, and communications with board liaison Trustee Goldsmith. And we'll work together on figuring out which ones we're going to address, but we are addressing the ones that we're going to have to take an action on at the beginning. So would you like to introduce are you the speaker for that?
Dr. Smith.
All right.
Dr. Smith.
Thank you very much. I am pleased that we will be able to bring before you for voting at our board meeting several early college agreements. And so the first few are the dual and articulated credit, which I'd like to remind us are courses that are offered primarily in the high schools for which students receive college credit. So we are bringing renewal MOUs from Boylan Community High School, Byron Community Unit School District, and Winnebago Community Unit High School.
The renewals. These
are all renewals, yes. The next group are Running Start, and as a reminder, Running Start is the program in which high school juniors and seniors complete a full AA or AS degree here on campus. This allows students to complete their high school diploma and their associate's degree at the same time. So we are bringing forth renewal IGAs from Byron Community Unit High School or School District and Winnebago Community Unit High School. The last group is just one. We have the senior semester. This program allows seniors to complete one full semester here at Rock Valley College. So we are bringing a renewal IGA from Byron Community Unit School District.
And before you go on any further, I'd just like to comment, it's my personal desire to maintain the current level and or strength and or possibly grow our dual and articulated credit partnerships and programs, and I'd like to hear at least a consensus of support from our board on that. Do we all agree that we would like to maintain and or grow our dual credit and articulated credit?
Of course.
Like expanding it?
Well, at least maintaining it, expanding it if possible, if we can, because it's been a successful program. We all on board with that?
Yes.
I maintain.
Okay, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
I do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
I noticed in reading these things that Byron on both the Running Start and the senior do not provide student assistance, whereas Winnebago does. So my question is, on those schools who do not provide financial assistance, are there scholarship opportunities for those students?
I believe there are. I would need to get more information as I'm not as hands-on with early college, but I do believe that through our RVC Foundation, we have scholarship opportunities for students who do not have their tuition paid for by their high schools.
Well, maybe well to check all the other schools too, to see who does provide and who doesn't provide.
Absolutely. I'll make
And then
that as an action
maybe we
item.
can provide,
Thank you.
which may help increase the number of students participating.
Mr. Chairman.
What? John, go ahead.
I would just ask, these, all of these agreements, are they simple renewals? Have any of the terms been changed from year to year? I always appreciate it when the, even if they're renewals, that they're examined by our council. And it's possible that they were attorney reviewed, but I didn't see that. Those are my questions.
Yes, they are renewals. They are simple renewals. There's no substantive changes. And on the board reports for each of the agreements, it does say attorney reviewed. So they have been reviewed by our attorneys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so if we could move right along, we are excited to talk with you tonight about a new Associate of Applied Science degree that we are proposing to offer here at Rock Valley College. This is the Industrial Systems Technology Associates of Applied Science. This degree was spearheaded by our president, Dr. Spearman, who was driven by students starting various CTE programs and then migrating to other programs in CTE without being able to attain a full degree. So they would have credentials from several areas, but they would not have a degree. The Industrial Systems Technology degree provides students with a flexible interdisciplinary technical education that prepares them for employment in modern industrial environments with such skills as mechanical, electrical, fabrication, digital, transportation, and operational systems all intersecting. The design of this degree is to support our regional employers who are desiring technicians who possess these cross-functional skills rather than one single isolated trade. Input into the degree was provided by several companies, including, but not limited to, Woodward, Collins Aerospace, Rock River Valley Tooling and Machining Association, Hennig, and Anderson Rock River Ford. The labor market also justifies the need for this degree with over 65 monthly openings in core industrial roles. And then when we add into it specialty pathways, the number grows to 128 openings monthly. We are seeking your approval this evening, or not this evening, but in 2 weeks, for the degree to be submitted for permanent approval to ICCB. They will then seek approval from their board, who will then forward it to the Board of Higher Education for their approval.
Any questions on it starting down here?
No.
Gloria? No? No. Bob?
I think it's a good program, and I would certainly fully support it.
Thank you.
Kristen? Yeah. Any comments? Questions?
No, it seems to be in order, so I would probably support it.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
Enrollment update, we're going to postpone. The completion ceremonies, is that graduation?
That is the graduation and various kind of end-of-year ceremonies that will be offered in the month of May, and you do have them in your packet, and we will be following up with you via email to see which you will be able to participate in.
All right. Lobbying update. Sorry.
I would just like to throw a question out without having it answered, but on the enrollment, I would like to know if you've made any inquiry as to why our NIU RBC enrollment is dropping. Let me know about that at a future meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
May I, point of information, Bob, do you mean the engineering aspect of that? I mean,
Well,
we don't monitor, people go on to just from here to Northern.
No, it's a program where the student will take 2 years of engineering here and then 2 years of engineering with NIU professors here, that number is doing this. And we set up this NIU program to really encourage graduates from this campus for $40,000 a year for a 4-year program, and the numbers are dropping. So I want to know why. I raised it before, so I'm raising it again. Please note it in the minutes.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you have an answer for it now, feel free to give. Otherwise, we can postpone the answer till the
All right.
future.
Yeah.
Till you have more.
I have a partial answer.
Partial
and
answer.
We're still investigating. One of the reasons that we're exploring and confirming is that NIU only is working with Rock Valley College in the mechanical engineering for this 2+2 degree, and that's a smaller amount of students. Initially, it was a broader mix. 10 years ago, that was a broader mix of degree options. Right now, NIU has limited that partnership to mechanical engineering only.
What was it 10 years ago?
I believe it also included industrial and civil, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm doing some additional research.
Yeah, I
That's
thought it
the
was
first-
industrial also, but I wasn't sure about civil, because I know you got to go to the Southern for civil, or you
Yeah,
got to
you're
go
right.
to
Probably- yeah.
Chicago.
I know it was industrial. I will double check on what other components there were 10 years ago, but I've learned recently that NIU has narrowed the scope over the last year or two to just mechanical, and I'm
John.
doing some additional research.
You know, I don't know if you've talked to the appropriate people at NIU, but do you have any idea of why the scope was narrowed? Or
I do
in
not
other words,
yet.
can we raise more money, or should we be raising more money? Or is it, I know the city started some program, but I don't know what degree of engineering it was in.
I don't have an answer to those specific questions tonight.
Yeah,
but I can
and I'd
check
rather
on it.
have you not speculate. Do your homework and
Do
come
your
back,
homework.
please. Thanks. And Bob, thanks for bringing it up. I know you've brought it up in the past, and
I
that's
did.
why I wanted to kind of address it, since you brought it.
Well, I'm a supporter of that program, you know, from a scholarship standpoint, and I want to know what the heck's going on.
You've got money on the table, right?
I got money in it.
Okay.
We will continue to investigate.
Thank you.
And if we don't use it, he's told me he was going to go to the casino and triple it.
I did see that would talk about that wouldn't be productive or lead to a vote, John. Okay, so we're going to table that. So the completion of ceremonies update is in our information, but we're also going to be contacted by email, right?
That is correct.
All right, thank you very much. Lobbying update will postpone. The informational information, unless there's something we need to take an action on, we do not? Okay. So we'll move on to Trustee Cadilla and the finance discussion.
Have Treasurer Ellen Olson give us a report.
And Crystal, just holler out if I forget about you. I know you're still there, okay?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
We can hear you loud and clear, too, so.
All right. This evening, first I have Purchase Report A, which is the FY26 amendments. First item on this report is BP Roofing, an increase of $7,000 for a total of $32,000. This increase is for roofing materials, labor, supplies, patching service calls, and spring inspections to support ongoing campus roof maintenance. Due to the strong winds we've had this spring and continue to have, we've experienced higher than anticipated volume of roof repairs. So this will fund the required spring inspections and provide coverage for additional service that we may need for weather the rest of this fiscal year. The second item is Schumacher Elevator, an increase of $5,000 for a total of $48,000. Johnson Controls Fire was required to perform the newly mandated State of Illinois 5-year alarm initiating device inspection for elevator shafts and pit devices. This inspection required on-site support from Shoemaker elevator technician to operate, test, lockout, and restore all campus elevators. During this testing, this requirement was recently enacted and was not known at the time of original approval. Item C is Rock River Disposal, an increase of $13,330 for a total of $58,330. This increase is for trash removal and recycling expenses that have increased due to greater than normal level of campus cleanup across multiple facilities, including Woodward Technical Center, Classroom Building 2, Health Science Center, Advanced Technology Center, Starlight Theater, and the Samuelson Road Center. So as a result, Rock River Disposal Services have been used at a higher rate than normal. Item D is for Forelli, increase of $31,200 for a total of $187,200. This is for consulting services that have been required to support the colleague migration to a SaaS or software as a service environment. This represents an extension of the existing contract to provide 2 additional months of consulting support. This additional support is necessary to ensure the project is completed on schedule, as a delay would result in additional fees assessed by Aleutian. Item E is for Demonica Kemper Architects, DKA, an increase of $7,000 for a total of $3,269,700. This includes additional professional services that are being performed for the Downtown West project for the additional civil engineering drawings that are required for the final installation of site work. And the last item is Healthcare Services Corporation, an increase of $500,000. This increase is for the health insurance plans offered by the college due to unanticipated increase in stop-loss claims, increased usage, and increasing medical cost. Are there any questions on this report?
Starting on my left, working down. Any questions?
No.
Gloria? Jenna? Bob?
On item E, do you think the architects, that's it? I mean, they seem to be nibbling away every month for a little bit more, a little bit more. This is the
I'll let
third
Mr.
increase.
Jenks answer that question.
Well, and this was discussed previously and more or less approved, the $7,000, right?
This was discussed,
Right.
I believe, Dr. Spearman and you.
And then Gloria
And
was
then
in
Gloria.
tune. Yeah, right, so.
This was a situation that the CMR was actually asking for the information and not necessarily brought on because of the architect, but the architects were the ones that were going to have to do the work. So this was not something that the architect said, we have to do this. This was a need because of some of the extensive changes that went to the site work. It was deemed appropriate to have all the information updated so that the site work would be done properly and we wouldn't put things in the wrong location.
And to go more specific, there may be yet another one on the same order as this one, correct?
Potentially,
Potentially, we think, there
Yeah,
might be.
might be.
Might be.
but we are I'm working very diligently to try and keep all of these things as small as possible.
But it's not a change order, and what the agreement is since they're trying to get the payments processed quickly, they notify me when they have Gloria kind of sign off from a finance standpoint to advance it, and then they put it on our agenda for us to review.
But you're still within your overall contingency.
Correct. I'll show you later. Our contingency is 20-some% or something.
Okay.
So
Okay, don't talk about it publicly. I mean, it's public knowledge, but I mean, with Ringland and DKA, they're just going to find a way to. Oh, sorry. There you go.
All right. Any other questions?
John?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think purchase report A is at least understandable right up to F. Anytime I have to vote for $500,000, it's like romance. I want a little bit of it. And adequately cover projected insurance expenses, and who is projecting those? Is that our in-house
Yes.
calculations?
Yes, it's based on what we have expensed so far through this fiscal year and what we're projecting to be coming in for the remainder of the fiscal year.
And this fiscal year ends soon, if I'm not mistaken.
June 30th.
June 30th.
So May and June. So 2.5 months?
No, we haven't paid our invoices for April, May, June, so 3 months. And I believe we have a February invoice pending payment.
Okay, so we haven't made any March payments or April payments?
Nope. We pay in arrears.
Okay. And Remind me, do we have an umbrella on the health insurance, or how do we work that?
We are self-insured, so we pay all claims that come in, except we do have a stop-loss cap of 100 and I believe 140 or 50,000, which means we bear the claims up to 150,000. After that, that is covered by our insurance. Unfortunately, this year we projected we only would have maybe 2.5 stop-loss claims. We've had 9.
Well, Ellen, I would recommend that you take a little more easy on our employees, for crying out loud. Anyway, I'm sure you do an analysis of whether or not we ought to be more self-insured and what are our premiums. And is there any chance that we'll have some money left over of the 500,000, or are you confident that this will carry us through the end of June?
I'm 80% confident that it'll carry us through the end of June, but I cannot predict what health crises or services our employees will be seeking.
Well, fair enough. In terms of, I know health insurance is doing nothing but go up, but is there, and I thought we hired consultants to help us with this kind of expense. Am I missing something on that?
We have Gallagher, who helps us negotiate our rates with Blue Cross Blue Shield for health insurance, Guardian for some other services, and Clarity for another set of services. But again, they can't control what people need.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ellen.
Any other questions for Ellen on purchase reports A and B, or B? No? Thank you, Ellen.
All right, purchase report B.
Oh, sorry. I thought
Yeah, you're ahead of me.
I'm ahead of you.
You're trying to rush me, aren't you, tonight? Purchase report B, the first item up here is Entree Computer Solutions, $538,436.22. This expense is for the downtown west location.
Can you speak to that?
I will in a moment.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Don't rush me. For the end-user computing equipment associated with peripherals and warranties, the network infrastructure components needed, the RFP 26-01D11 technology for downtown campus was originally awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. However, subsequently, the vendor notified the college they would be unable to honor the awarded pricing. So as a result, the bid is now being awarded to Entree Computer Solutions, which was the next lowest responsible bidder. The increase in cost between the initial lowest bidder and Entree is $21,173. Did I address your question?
I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that we've already kind of taken action on this, but since they backed out,
Yeah.
we're going to the next lowest bidder.
Correct.
And we're not going to the next lowest bidder just because they're local or just because they're the next lowest bidder. We have to take action on it this month, otherwise the quote's no good anymore after that, probably.
Prices are going up apparently on computers.
Yep.
All right, item B is for Uja Lumina for $37,513.90. This is for instructional video platform that will enable faculty to edit, create, and share high-quality, accessible video content to support teaching and learning. This platform integrates with the college's existing learning management system and supports compliance with the federal digitally accessibility requirements under the ADA Act. So this will reduce reliance on manual accommodations, improve scalability, and positions the college to meet future and current web content accessibility guideline standards. Item C is for Schneider Electric, $77,214. This expense is for the purchase and installation of access control hardware, required software licensing, and associated technical programming and configuration services to support Phase 2 of the access control upgrade project. This includes on-site installation, system configuration, to bring all the equipment online and into full operation. These efforts will support the conversion of the existing Genetec security system at the Advanced Technology Center, address obsolete system components to ensure compatibility with the upgraded access control platform, and this is necessary to complete the phased modernization of the college's access control and security systems. Any questions on purchase report B?
I'm going to start on my left again.
No.
Gloria? Crystal? Any questions?
Nope, I'm all good, thank you.
Okay, Jenna?
No.
Bob? Kristen? John?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've talked about this a fair number of times before, but, excuse me, was Schneider Electric the only responsible bidder, which I assume they are, who bid on this, and we just couldn't get any other bids?
Go ahead, Mr. Jenks.
So Schneider Electric, unfortunately, with security systems, HVAC systems, and things of that nature, once you kind of pick a platform, they're your integrator for that particular system. And for HVAC, we have Johnson Controls. For this, we have Schneider. So it's one of those exemptions that's put into the state because you have to maintain the consistency of the programming, and there's only certain companies that work within a particular area. We have the same situation, like I said, with HVAC. So it's not really a bid situation. It's a complex integrated system, and there's the vendor that you choose is the one that you're going to use while you use that system.
And sometimes the manufacturer limits the number of resellers within a region or a distribution to as low as one, and so you need to work with those partners.
All right, thank you.
Correct. Thank you.
All right. One other thing I want to bring to the attention of the board, you received an email earlier this week. There was an item we missed including on the purchase reports, and that is for the moving, rigging, and storage services for the having to do with the downtown west location. It is a TDB at this time. It is bid 26-04D09, which will be opened this week on April 16th. This is for the services to pack, transport, temporarily store, and deliver the program equipment and materials of the automotive program and the collision repair program out of the previous Stenstrom Center for Career Education to the downtown training location or storage temporarily. We do need to vacate the old previous Stenstrom Center by June 1st, so we will be bringing this recommendation to the April 28th board meeting. Are there any questions regarding this item?
Start down here.
No.
Gloria, no. Crystal? No. Any questions on the special, well, we got to move out of the old Stenstrom building, which is...
Yep, we're moving out of the old Stenstrom building.
Okay. Jenna?
No.
Bob? Kristen? John?
So we're approving, I don't see this quite in my packet, but we're approving the
Moving costs.
moving costs. What are they again?
We don't know what they are. The bid will be open this week, Thursday,
Okay.
and then we'll bring you the name of the vendor and the award at that time.
And it would be really nice to have some time to look at it, at a cow and then that, but we have a deadline of June 1st to be out of there, so we have to move forward on the approval of the vendor that is going to
All right, I
move
get
us
it.
out.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right. The next item is the bond parameter resolution. This is the next step in the process of issuing the $7.9 million in working cash bonds for the Classroom Building 2 renovation and addition project. This resolution provides for the issue not to exceed $7.9 million in general obligation community college bonds for the purpose of increasing the working cash fund and providing the levy of direct annual tax sufficient to pay the principal and interest on these bonds and authorizing the proposed sale. After we approve this bond parameter resolution, our next steps, we'll put it out to the public, and we are expecting to close on May 29th.
Any questions? Hearing one, John.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ellen, it seems to me, I remember that this is just part of the expenses, and we need to issue these to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
Am I on that or off?
That is correct. This is to issue the additional bonds to pay that for that increase in cost for doing CO2.
Okay, thank you.
I also want to share with the board real quick, as hard as I tried, I could not get S&P to increase our rating, but we maintain our AA minus. Just a little bit, our financial risk profile is still very strong as a college. What is holding us back is the state of Illinois regarding OPEB funding. And right now, even though it's not necessarily bad, they do not like, they call it our MADS, or maximum annual debt service coverage ratio, which is the borrower's ability to cover annual debt payment with operational cash flow burden, which is high due to how fast we are amortizing the payments to keep them short. So we still maintain our AA minus bond rating.
And I'll just do a John Nelson question. Are we looking good, Ellen?
We're looking good. AA minus is good.
All right, so you're telling me they wouldn't raise it because we want to pay off the debt too fast?
That percentage, they look at the ratio of those payments to our operating funds, and it's high compared to the other areas because we are receiving tax funds to part of our tax levy to repay that. So if we did not receive the tax levy, then we would have to pay for it out of operating funds.
Okay.
So,
The answer to your question is yes, John, because we're paying more faster.
I would say so, yeah. Okay, thank you.
all right, next item is our tentative FY27 budget. So the tentative spending plan for fiscal year 2027 totals $227,502,587 for all funds and $71,455,333 for the operating funds, which is Funds 1 and 2, and that includes a contingency of $888,611. Just quickly going through some of the revenue assumptions, I factored in a 9.5% increase for levy year 25 EAV estimates, and they are coming in about that rate for the 4 counties we have received this far. A 2% increase for levy year 26 EAV. 5% decrease in state funding for the ICCB operating and equalization grants. We are seeing some challenges at the state of Illinois, and I'll admit, Bob, I'm a little conservative on that one. Our enrollment projection is 115,000 credit hours, no increase in tuition and fees, and our projected investment revenue is based on slightly declining interest rates, although they're going up right now, but that could be to do what's going on in the world right now, and also as we continue to expend for our building projects, we'll have a lower amount that we're going to be earning interest on. On the expenditure side, we have the contractual salary increases. We have salary increases for Administrator, Professional Staff Association, and Educational Support personnel. We also have a few staff additions for Downtown West, which is for plant operation and maintenance services, police, and student services. We also have increases in staff for information technology for cybersecurity and infrastructure support and a project manager. Healthcare, we've experienced already a 10+% increase for calendar year 26. I am projecting additional increases for 2027 due to the number of employees and dependents that are participating in our health care insurance, increased utilization, and rising health care cost. Contractual services are based on contractual increases. General materials and supplies are projected to increase due to some inflationary pressures. Travel and conference meeting expense is increasing due to training and meeting opportunities for staff and trustees. Fixed charges are expected to decrease due to the reduction in lease expense as the college vacates 99 East State Street in August of this year. Utilities are projected to increase as rates increase and the addition of Downtown West, as we'll have to provide utilities to that building. And capital outlay is replacement of smaller dollar instructional equipment. Are there any questions?
I'd just like to remind everybody, since our role is primary fiduciary and then policy, let's not gloss over any items in the tentative budget here. So if you have any questions, pony them up. Start on my left.
No.
Gloria? And yeah, so you encourage you to review it and then.
Good here.
You all good, Crystal? Okay. Jenna?
None now.
Bob?
I have a couple.
Sure.
Number one is, how many new additions to downtown will there be?
2 for POM, 2 for police, 2 for student services. 6.
6 altogether.
Yes.
We're going to have a lot, so you're going to have some of them transfer from the ones that are downtown already, right? Obviously.
Those services are not provided downtown currently.
So in other words, nobody's work.
I would say next month or the month after, come back with a full staffing for downtown and where they might be moving from, either new hires or shifts.
Yeah, well, planned operation, maintenance, police are not currently located downtown, so those
Right.
will be new hires.
Yeah, I'd like
And
to see
student
that.
services is not currently downtown, so those will also be new hires.
Right. But then there's programming. I think Bob's just trying to get a handle on all the staff that's
All
going
the
to be down
staffing.
there when it's up and running and where they're coming from, either new
Right.
hires or
Yeah,
moves from
right.
other existing spaces.
Right. And I have another question. It seems to me that we do a good job of tracking credit hours, but if my calculations are right, that's 80% of the revenue that you have forecasted. The other 20%, we don't track at all. Is there any way that we can track, and is there any budgeted amount for those things? I mean, we are trying to encourage more students in even non-credit, so that number, in theory, should be growing. It'd be kind of nice to see that number every month or so.
So in Fund 1 and 2, the only non-credit that, I shouldn't call it non-credit, we have some continuing education that's in there that is not included in credit hours. A lot of the other non-credits, like CNC,
Yeah.
and those are not in Fund 1, they are in Fund 5. So you will not see those reflected in Fund 1,
Oh, I see. So they go with you.
a
yeah, but-
different fund.
If you got 115,000 credit hours at $125 a credit hour, that's 14 million, and your budget in that line is 19.4.
Right, so like continuing education and some of the other ones that are not based on credit hour are budgeted.
But what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, and the CT rate, the CTE differential is higher.
But what I'm saying is we do a great job tracking the 115, the budget, the stretch, and all that stuff. What about the other 20% of the dollars? Can we track that? Because that's 20% of your tuition revenue.
Others tell me that that would be the report for workforce development. They would have those, they're tracking those hours.
I know, but can we see that
Right.
once in a
You're
while?
asking if we can create an enrollment report for the workforce
Yes.
credits.
Yes,
okay.
correct. And show it like to us once a month like you do with the credit hours. This way we can see all the revenue.
Yeah. I'll talk with Dr. Spearman and Dr. Stewart because they're not on the same cycle, but we'll figure something out.
Because frankly, when you open up downtown, I would fully expect those numbers to increase like that, because we're going to be bringing in a lot more students, and I think we'd like to see how that's tracking. Yes?
Bob would like to see radioactive tractors on every dollar, check, bank transfer, and
No,
Bitcoin
I
transfer.
just talking about what I just got.
No, I mean, no, but it makes sense.
We're with you.
No, because I'm not making fun of you. It sounds like it's just more like we just want to know the source of all the money, what the programming of it,
Yeah,
and
right.
break it out. Now, every month might be a little, quarterly or even twice a year would be really great. And I realize the cycles are different, so.
Because remember what I said, I would fully expect with downtown opening that our enrollment dollars are going to increase because we should be bringing in a lot more new students. That was the whole premise for having a downtown campus. So we want to see how that's tracking.
Well, in addition to that, Bob, don't we have foundation money raised for the downtown?
Oh, absolutely.
Scholarships
You know,
and,
you
yeah.
got $4 million that she's got in her back pocket.
And I'm not asking anybody out here to comment on it other than, I think, Bob, we were expecting maybe moderate increases in enrollment as the programs ramped up, but not only that, but increasing the quality and the content of the program would probably be fair. But yeah, we'd be interested in knowing all that going forward. Any other questions, Bob?
Nope, that's it.
You good? Kristen? John?
I had one, but I think Bob's covered.
Okay.
All right. The last item I have this evening is the cash and investment report. Operating cash and investments decreased nearly $1.2 million, ending the month at $98.6 million. This decrease is part of the cyclical nature of the revenues for the college at this time of year. Total operating cash and investments is at 91.73% of operating budget as of March 31st. As a reminder, when the bonds are issued in May, the funds that we advanced for the CDB trust account will be reimbursed to that operating account. Working cash fund increased $1,850 due to interest income. And capital funds decreased nearly $2.6 million to $64.8 million as of March 31st. This decrease is attributed to a bond payment that we made at the end of March and disbursements for the Downtown West project. Are there any questions?
No. Crystal, question?
Nope, I'm all good.
I'm just asking, make sure you know I haven't forgotten you. And Jenna?
No.
Kristen? Kristen, are you sure? You just look so frustrated, whatever.
No.
And you're not even one of the ones anxious to get out of here.
No, I'm good.
John?
So Ellen, overall, we've had some numbers change around. Are we still in good shape?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Like really good or just good?
A minus.
I was going to say, yeah, an AA minus.
95% coverage on your operating fund. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's almost a full year.
That's the key number.
Yep. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much for that
Thank
report.
you, Ellen.
Operations discussion, board liaison, trustee Trojan.
Okay. Take it over, Mr. Jenks.
Thank you, Trustee Trojan. Good evening, Board. The first item on the agenda tonight is the Board Policy Manual. This would be the second reading of the Policy Manual, Article 3s for Human Resources. As of today, the President's Office has not received any additional requests for any changes on the particular items, and they are in there for the Board to review inside of the packet. And if you have
Encourage
any...
the trustees to review it, get your questions in.
Correct.
And since you haven't submitted any questions at this point, I'm not going to allow any other discussion on it. So let's move on.
Sounds good, sir. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the summer flex hours. If you recall, summer flex hours is where we allow members of ESP, SSA, PSA to have 5 8-hour days during the summer to use as, quote, flex time. This was implemented previously. What we would do is we would do half days on Fridays, and it was changed to 1 week. And so we are again requesting that option be available to the employees. It will begin May 18th and end a little earlier this year, July 31st. Is there any questions about that?
No.
Gloria, Crystal, Jenna, Bob, Kristen, John.
What, remind me, Rick, why did we, it seems to me we instituted this a few years ago.
I guess I was just
Oh.
curious about the, we can't hear. Oh, yeah. No, I guess I was just curious about the, because we're expanding it, I'm going back to the assumption that we had been using it prior, and what kind of a response have we had from staff? I mean,
We're not expanding it, we're just asking for the same that we did last year.
okay,
The response from the staff is very positive. They do enjoy that as a added benefit.
okay.
Let's, so pause here. Crystal seems not to hear anything right now, or maybe were you just not?
I just came back on. I don't know why it went silent, but I couldn't hear anything. But now
Well, Gloria was speaking, and maybe it was just because microphone wasn't close enough, but she stepped
That's
up.
true.
So, yeah, okay.
I'm good. I can hear now. Thank you.
John, did you have a question?
Yes, I did, and it has to do with how many did we start this a few years ago, or did we pick this back up? What's the history? I can't remember.
The recollection that I have is we had switched to flex days. Those flex days, summer flex days, were removed for 1 or maybe 2 years. Then it was requested to ask, we started to request it back again so that employees could take advantage of the benefit if the board so chose to do that. The board graciously started reenacting it again, and I believe that was maybe yeah, so probably 8, I was going to say 5, I've been here too long. So probably 8 years ago, they reenacted it. Is that right? Okay, yeah, Joe remembers.
Is it in all of our union contracts, or is this just for non-union employees, or what is this benefit?
All but faculty, because the faculty aren't here in the summer, so.
So they don't need an extra?
Basically, yes.
Right. All right. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on?
The next item up is the retiree resolution. We do have several people who have taken advantage and are fortunate that they were able to retire. So in 2025, 2026, we had Linda Berger, Stephen Donahue, Jeannie Ellis, Carol Griesbach, Betty Hoshaw, Maureen Miller, Cassie Pasek, and Betty Villalobos Ballman, excuse me. We wanted to celebrate their work and dedication to the Rock Valley College and to the betterment of the facility with this acknowledgement. Any questions?
Questions?
No?
And congratulations on retirement.
Yes, they're going to love it. I do.
Most people say they're busier retired than they are when they're working. The next item is going to be the Downtown West quarterly update. This is the similar update that I've given in the past.
Just a pause here. Drum roll. Okay, Downtown West update. Let's go.
Downtown West update. So we have increased our expenses, which particularly for the labs that will be going out to bid here very shortly. All of that will be coming in and arriving in July. So July is going to be a very busy month for operations, POM and IT and the entire team. So we're gearing up for that right now. On-site work is going on. Part of the conversation I had earlier regarding the AutoCAD and Revit file that was needed for the parking lots has been resolved, like I explained earlier, and we are working towards getting the outside site work installed. We actually have several curbs and gutters that are in. They are working on installing the light poles, which was a major critical item, and then we're going to continue to work through and do what's called flat work, which is your sidewalks and other things of that nature. So things are moving along very well. Like I said, installation of the furniture and fixtures will begin end of June, middle of July. We will be utilizing some outside vendors, but a lot of that will be internal work, and we also have to then coordinate the moves for the individuals from our downtown campus. Stenstrom, you already heard about how we're going to be moving them, and the other areas that are going to be moving into those areas. So we're working on finalizing all that, working with the different divisions, and going through the process of explaining to them how to move. We move a lot of people. My team moves a lot of people, and we're pretty good at it, so we just have to explain it to people. And once they catch on to how we do it, we think that it'll go smoothly when the time comes. And it's weird to be talking about the fact that we're going to be moving people in, but the time's arriving finally. And then finally, we will have final installation and commissioning. This could proceed past July 1. This could go into end of July, even August, and maybe even September. Commissioning is a long process, particularly for HVAC and some of those other systems. So that will continue on, but the buildings will be functional. It's just tweaking them so that they're more efficient, basically. Any questions or concerns regarding the downtown campus?
I'll start on the left again.
No.
No? Crystal, downtown questions?
I'm all good.
Jenna?
I have a question.
Okay.
Perhaps you can't answer this yet, but what will the for lack of a better term, like art situation be? Like, will the walls just be blank, or will there be things on them?
So actually, very, very good question. Our foundation, Brittany, is working on getting local artists to produce art that we will display down there. We recently had a item that was donated to the college in artwork that we're going to be looking for places to put that, and she's going to actually be going through a process with a committee to get art so that we can have areas to display the art. And in the design process, we actually put plywood in the walls so that we have backing to hang art or place art throughout the buildings.
Cool, thanks.
Okay. Bob? Why are you smiling?
I'll skip my comments.
Maybe you were reading my mind. We need excerpts from her new book up on the wall.
Well, you got a couple of artists here that might contribute.
That's right. We got
but that wasn't where I was going.
Okay.
What do you envision, and when do you envision a grand opening, ribbon cutting, or whatever? Before or after school?
That is not my area of expertise. Do we have any idea on that?
Take a stab at it.
No, don't take a stab at it.
Before or after school starts?
That was very bad luck. I'd rather not revisit that right now. I'm serious. I really don't want to revisit it right now. Let's move on from that topic.
Yeah, we'll get you the answer. We have a little bit of time, but I will get you the answer for that.
Their school starts.
Hey, last time we had a prolonged discussion on it, the building opened 4 months late, Bob, so we're not going to do this again.
This one's on time.
Yes.
They say.
The next item is it's just going to be a, yes, sir.
I had the good fortune to drive by the site yesterday, and I have to say, Rick, my questions really are the buildings look like they're coming along. I agree with you there. There's some, I didn't realize the plywood was for artwork, but I saw the plywood in various places. It looked like it was at windows and entrances. But the landscaping, you know, I mean, I know we've had a lot of rain, but it just looked like mud pie to me, but.
Yeah, it does. It's looked that way the entire job. It's not uncommon for that to occur, and that will be fixed up in the very near future. But some of those areas are supposed to have dirt within them, but eventually it will all be leveled out. It will all be graded, and then a landscaper will come in and make it look pretty, basically. But it's
Well, I can make it look nice. That'd be okay with me, but.
right. It's not uncommon for job sites to look very similar. That's one of our cleaner job sites I've seen. So it's not anything unusual or to be concerned.
All right, and so, I mean, we do have some time here, and you're relatively confident, barring some horrible development in the weather, that we should be very close to the July 1st.
Everything is tracking to.
And I don't mean totally finished, but.
Correct. Well, even when you finish a building, it still takes about 6 months to truly get everybody in and settled and situated. So that's normal for any building. But yes, substantial completion July 1st. We'll get there.
Okay.
I was nearly electrocuted in the building 2 weeks after it opened, so glad I wasn't, because I wouldn't be here today.
I'm guessing some people were sad.
No, the person that saw it laughed. She was laughing all afternoon. There's blue light all around him. I thought he was...
Ellen, I can't believe you did that.
No. Somebody who lives in Nova Scotia right now. Right. Any other updates on downtown?
No.
Okay. CL2?
CL2 update, yes. This is just going to be a verbal. I'll have more information next month. CDB and the architect finished their negotiations last week and have an official agreement to do what's called design development, construction, and closeout. So the rest of the project, basically, they've worked through that. So we got notification of that. We had a brief meeting last week with CDB and the architects to basically finalize that the agreements are there. The goals now are they're going to start working on what's called design development plans, which is basically taking those plans that were showed to the board. If you recall the 4 different options, we chose option 4. They're going to start taking those and getting more detailed in that process. We're going to be finding out more about what's going into that building, what the different programs need, working through the architects and doing the design development process. So we're really looking forward to that. One of the other things that will come out of this, hopefully in the next couple weeks, will be a tentative schedule so that I can share that with the board. But it's still moving forward. Things are progressing, and we hope to have some information in the very near future.
Okay. Is there anything earth-shattering in the change order report?
No.
Okay, so I encourage you to review it. If you have any questions on it, forward them to the administration for further discussion. Okay. And then we have a personnel report.
We do have a personnel report. We are looking for one philosophy instructor. We hope to have someone available for the next board information. We also hired a new project manager, Timothy Tusted. He will be starting April 20th, and he will be helping out with all the different projects, downtown, CL2, parking lots, all those things I've brought to you. Any questions on the personnel report?
I see you're paying the person a living wage. Thank you very much. So,
we try. The last item then is the calendar. I won't go through, but there are plenty of baseball and softball games. There's a health science quiz bowl. If you've ever done any of the other quiz bowls, they're basically a bunch of kids running around that are a lot smarter than us doing things. We do have the 14th annual Caskey Lecture in the PEC on the 29th, and a variety of other things. We have the WEI Spring Career Fair also on the 23rd. Does anybody have any questions?
Questions?
Nope,
Going once,
thank you.
going twice. John?
On the Caskey lecture, I got an email. It seemed to be an invite to come.
Probably from Michelle Roder.
Right. Yeah.
Well, from somebody, certainly.
Yeah, it was probably from Professor Roder.
And so my question is, do we, as a board member, do we just, as I understand it, there's no fee to come to the lecture.
That is correct, right?
Right,
Yes,
there-
that is correct. It's basically an
And it's
open.
first come, first served seating then?
Yes.
Okay.
It's, thank you. Dr. Pryor is saying it's open seating. Yes.
Okay.
And they encourage board members to come.
Well, Rick, I'd do a lot with that, but we're under the gun.
Yes, we are, sir.
I think it's Michelle's last one too, right? So it's rather important.
Correct.
Any other questions on the calendar? Is that it for you?
That is it for me, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good.
Amanda, do we have any other important thing that would lead to a board action at the next meeting?
No.
Okay.
Anything can wait until the next meeting.
Okay. And I'd just like to repeat, is kind of unfinished and new business, my great desire for our dual credit program to maintain their, this is a message to administration, staff, faculty, and our partners, maintain dual credit and/or strengthen it going forward. And I would not look favorably at anything that put a ding in it. So in that regard, I don't have anything for closed session. So the next regular and reorganization Board of Trustees meeting will be April 28th, 2026 at 5:15. The meeting will be held in the Performing Arts Center, PAR 0214, and Educational Resource Center, ERC, on the main campus. And our next Committee of the Whole meeting will be held May 12th, 2026 at 5:15. The meeting will be held in this PAR 0214, Educational Resource Center on the main campus. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Nelson, seconded by Blake.
Blake.
All roll call.
Nelson,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Trojan.
Yep.
Goldsmith, yes. Kudia,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Saltow,
Yes.
Gorski.
Yes, I want to know what's so funny about adjourning a meeting, darn it. Come on now.
We're adjourned.
We're adjourned, and I wish everybody a safe and uneventful ride home.
All right. Thanks home, everybody. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you.
You can go to YouTube and stop the stream, or, yeah.